All right, so that'll be fun. So we'll take it in chunks. We're going to play a bit, rehearse a bit, play a bit, rehearse a bit. So macro, micro, macro, micro. So, but we'll start at the beginning. Set that there. So let's hear that fanfare at measure 13. Well, let's do this. Sing it. Da 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 da. Ready, go. Da 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 da. All right, now it's together. We're going to be real on the mark together. Again. Ready, and. No, no. Da 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 da. Okay, let me just talk about that a minute. So what I want to do is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, because we really got to get the 16th notes locked in. Is that what you were going to mention?
No.
Okay.
Modeling will get what you want so much faster than any words you could say.
Okay.
So I want you to sing exactly. You know, Chris was talking about the syllables, exact syllables, so maybe you don't have that yet. I'm not as good at that as he is, but if I say, da, da 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 da. Now say it back to me, and then okay. So now you try that.
So da 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 da. Say it and da 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 da.
Now is that what you want?
Yeah, that's much better. Yeah. Okay. So let's play that. Ready and yeah, read at 13. Just the fanfare, people. Ready and. Cleaner on that first note. Da, 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 da. Ready, 2, ready, and. So the first thing you're going to do, the first thing we're going to hear is that first note. It's got to pop out. Ba, ba, da, 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 ba, 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 to let us know that that's what you're going to do. One more time. 1, 2, ready, and. And a little longer over here, so don't linger on it. E. Da, 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 da. Again, 2, ready, and. Much better, much better. Now, for the next section, I'm just going to say this. So make your statements, the same group of people I'm talking to. You have 8 notes and then you have a long note. 8 notes and a long note. Whenever you have that, back off on that long note. Ba, 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 ba. Somebody else picks it up. Ba, 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 ba. Somebody else picks it up. Okay, so right there. Everybody, at 13. 1, 2, ready?
This one specific thing that you asked for, the back with the back and forth,
Right.
Right there, did they do it?
Well, not as much as I want.
Okay, so then you immediately stop
right.
and go back. And what I would have done is in that moment, so generally speaking, you guys, the way you affect change in a rehearsal is you ask for something and then you immediately have them do it.
Right.
Isolated, the thing that you're after, you have them do it. And then, did they do it or not? Yes, that's it. Or, no, that's not quite it. Let's try it again. I need more of this or less of that.
Okay,
Right?
so let's start at 17 where
Good.
we first do this. And again, if you only play if you have that figure somewhere
So
in this.
remind them what's the figure?
So the figure is 1 ba 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 ba, and then somebody else picks it up in that next measure. Okay, so only if you have that, and it's pretty much the same people that did the fanfare. We're in measure 17, and the idea is to get away from, you know, on the longer note, get away so somebody else can come out. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right there, and 1. So right there, that's the first one. You have to back off on your quarter dotted half note. Ba, 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 ba. So the idea is you get away so that they can come out, okay? Okay, 1, 2, again, and boom. Again there, now we have two groups that have to back off. It's horn.
I gotta back you up for just a minute because there's a key point. When you give an instruction that is counter to something they might be seeing with their eyes, this can be confusing for a player and you need to acknowledge it. So here's what's happening. You are asking them to back off, right, on the long note, but they have an accent on that long note. So I can see their brains turning. What should I do? Should I play the accent and then back away? But he told me to back away at the beginning of... So this is where you want to be really precise with what you're asking for and make sure that it corresponds with exactly what they're seeing on the page. So da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, then back away?
Right. So
is that what you want?
Right, so hit the accent and then get away.
Okay.
Yeah. And then where we stopped here, we have horns. This is measure 22. Horns and trombones, euphonium. You're a lot of forces now finally that are entering in. So you have to accent that note back away for the final two statements of this theme, okay, this motif. Okay. Let's go back to 13. What? This is interesting. Do we have a melody? Is there a melody here that we can shape and go up and this and back down, and then we do another 8 bars of melody? No, this is very motivic, and everybody has a little piece of it. This is music by Legos, okay? It's just motivic elements placed here, so we need to shape that. So the shape of this is, I'm just going to give it to you right here. We're going to the first 4 measures, kind of generally crescendoing. The height of this phrase is going to be the horn entrance, coming into measure 30, and then back down. And then we're going to do it again 3 times. There's 3 phrases here. So I'm just going to say, and I'll shape it with my left hand. So let's give that a try.
Okay.
Right here.
I'm going to jump in.
Okay.
Doing great. Okay. He's absolutely right. We need to, there's some phrasing that we need to do here. But, you know, at any given moment, I mentioned this yesterday, there are multiple things that you can go after. And you always want to be thinking, okay, what's going to have the most impact on the overall sound of the group, and not just a specific thing like phrasing, but what's going to make this piece sound better immediately. So there's something that I noticed that's really jumping out at me a lot that's a problem. And it has to do with rhythmic clarity.
Right.
We're having the ensemble's having a lot of issues coming in off this 8th rest, and coming off of the tie, the classic problem with a longer note tied to a shorter note. What's always going to happen? Delayed. You come in late off of the tie, right? Forever and ever. That's what happens. So addressing some of these things lining up in clarity is actually going to solve a lot of other problems as you go through.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
This can be really hard, you guys, when you go into a lesson with, this is my lesson plan. I've got this thing, and this is what I'm going to do today. I'm working on phrasing. And you show up, and there's something glaring that might possibly get in the way. What should you do? Go after the glaring thing that's going to get in the way of maybe the thing that you had planned on doing. So how do you feel about tackling some of that clarity?
Yeah, let's do that. Okay. Can I hear in the second measure of 25? Okay, measure 26. Ba, 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 ba. Just the people. 1. And, the one thing just the people that measure 26 that have that figure. So that's going to be trombones, euphonium, tuba, and bass clarinet if we had one. Okay, right there. Yeah, measure 26. Ready, and... And again, come off the tie. Ba, da, da, da. Ba, da, da, da. and 1. Come off the top.
What's a strategy you could do right now
What's
that we
that?
learned from Bianco? What's a strategy you could do right now?
Oh, sizzle.
Sizzle,
Although
yeah,
we-
or sprinkler, right? The sprinkler?
We call it sizzle in Utah. We're in a drought. We can't use a lot of water, so we can't use sprinkler. We call it sizzle.
I mean, that's
Everybody,
just, that's just
ready,
one thing you
ready,
could do.
and get ready to play. 1, 2, ready, and 1. Yeah, but you're not with the sizzle.
Okay, so what do you want right now? Everybody in the ensemble doing what?
Sizzle.
Okay, are they doing it?
No. No. Everybody sizzle. You can sizzle. 1, 2, 3, sizzle. A little bit more.
There you go, there you go.
1, 2, 3, off. That's the off point. Off. 1, 2, ready, and 1. You're not coming off on the third one. Oh, 1, up, up, up. 1, up, up, up. 2, ready, and 1. Then you separate. 1, ba, da, da, da. Just do the first note. 1, ba, ready, and 1. Off of it quicker. Ready, and 1. No, get off of it. Stop it quicker. 1, ba, ready, and 1. Shorter. Ready, and 1. That's better. A whole lot better. Thank you. Again, a little bit longer on the bass trombone. Ba, ready, and 1. Yeah, but no accent. Not as heavy an accent. Da, ready, and 1. Oh, that's great. Now, 1.
Okay,
da,
so we had our
da, da.
sizzlers, right?
Right.
We had our sizzlers or sprinklers going.
sprinklers.
Right.
Sizzlers.
Yeah, yeah. So, and then they weren't sure what to do. They weren't sure what to do. So you guys heard it was like, and then they sort of, so, this is the idea of, those of you teaching middle, high school, whatever, like having a sense of the room, right? Having a sense of what's going on in the room. So I'm going to tell these guys to stop, all right? And then we're going to continue on with this. And how long have I been spending on this activity? Is it now time
It's time
to move on to something
It is.
else?
And I would
so
just
what,
say,
So what would you say then in that moment? This happens all the time, by the way. You don't get to the finish line of the thing.
So that's a good start. We're going to move on, and we'll come back to it next rehearsal. That's exactly what I would say.
Perfect, yes.
Okay, so
Now,
here we go.
what's our time check? About 8 minutes?
No, 5.
Oh, Lord, okay.
Oh, man.
I'm gonna blow up your whole plan
whole
here for a
plan.
minute. I'm sorry, I'm blowing your whole plan. I want you to go back to the beginning. And what's the tempo you want to do this? Just show it, don't start them, just go.
What do we got?
So that's
About 88? 88, not, no?
So you want 88?
Yeah.
So this is my point. I think you were a little slow.
A little slow,
A little slow to start. And it's possible that your prep beat was exactly the tempo that you wanted. But Ken, you have a tendency to do a bending of the knees.
No good.
Like this. And this will it doesn't provide the clarity right here in front that you want, okay? So, boom, right out there.
Okay.
Okay, try it.
From the beginning.
Try again. Okay, good. Let's try it. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, next thing, 6/8.
More trouble.
It needs, just needs a little more
More-
lilt.
more
For me, that's it. Well, no, look, see, at this,
Yeah.
right? There's the idea of the sort of the bounce, and that they played it just as you were conducting it instead of with this bounce, especially heard in the clarinets. What you want is right? Okay, try it. Go.
From the beginning again?
was that right there? Who are you?
Les at the trombone, some were looking at me, so Les in the lower brass, yeah.
Okay, did they
They
react?
did, actually
they
some
react
of
to
them
you?
did, yes,
Okay,
they
good.
did.
So
But I knew I couldn't stop, so. Yeah.
let's go back here to 25. I want you to do this again, and I want you to actually think about what gesture you could do to help them with that. Okay, time is of the essence. In all of our rehearsals, we don't have much time to tackle each thing, so what can we show that will help them with that? So gesture syncopation here,
exactly,
right?
yeah.
Maybe even, I would even consider cutting that off,
too,
right? Da, 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 right? Showing some kind of a crisp gesture, something like that. Let's do 25.
25? Just going to keep the same pulse, but it'll be one beat in a measure. Yeah.
So in the last 30 seconds, the bell's about to ring. They're gonna run off. What can you say to them that would be, here's something that you did well today. Here's something we're going to work on next time.
So I really appreciate how we put this together with the staggering entrances. Okay.
Keep going.
So the staggering entrances, that worked out, and I would like to thank you for your attention on dynamics. We're starting to work on the dynamics. Those are the two things here. I'm confident you're going to get the notes and the little rhythmic things over time. That's not a big worry of mine.
And tomorrow we're
But tomorrow we're going to move on. We'll review a little, but then we're going to go on because there's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That little section's a little bit trouble because we get it in our mind, the pulse. Okay.
Okay. So the only thing I would say is you could have said that in half the time, right?
Okay.
Great job with the dynamics. We're going to work on that 3-part tomorrow.
Okay.
Boom. Thanks for a great rehearsal today, you guys. Right?
Don't
Okay.
leave.
Okay, Ken.